So as we always do about this time, sucker shit.
You know, I was thinking
Uh-oh.
that we live in an age where everybody talks about my truth, my reality, but most of it's not true or real.
Say more.
People tell their stories, and it's kind of how it happened, but it's not really how it happened, right? Because if you leave a few things out, it's almost like it was, but it's not how it is. Am I making sense?
I'm tracking.
So, again, this is how we are in relationships. All you have to do is leave a few things out. And that's not how it is, but it's pretty close. I've been watching an epidemic. I happen to be on the phone with somebody who shall remain nameless, Rob. And his two sons were in the back seat, and they were explaining how they had their little game that they was trying to run. Okay, one not so much, he got a girlfriend, shout out to her. But he was talking about her. And I was listening and I said, oh, that ain't real game. That's not how it is. That's kind of close. So I came up with this concept. He got Crystal Light game. See, Crystal Light tastes like lemonade, but when you taste the tube, you know your ass is drinking Crystal Light. See, when we was growing up, there was no such thing as a Crystal Light stand. Everybody had a lemonade stand. So you come with this weak ass game, and I'm like, godson, you perpetrating the fraud. Be authentic or don't be shit at all. You Crystal Light niggas, you on some sucker shit.
Hey, was that the circus lemonade? Bro?
Yeah, weak as circus lemonade. That's what I told you. Say your game is weak as circus lemonade. You serve that shit with some candy corn.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we are. Welcome to Skinny Black's Lounge. My name is Rob, aka Skinny Black. And to my right,
Tubbs. Yeah.
cool. And to his right,
JT, period of silence. I'm on.
and to Ren's left,
Lee.
Lebo.
Couch.
he got the upgraded seat up in here.
Yeah,
Sofa
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit. Yep, Miles Morales.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Gotta see that.
I saw the first one, I haven't seen the second.
And even like the new Bel Air series. You know, Uncle Phil was pretty decent. He got some moments, but
Something that JT said, specifically in the critique portion of it, about how it sounds, and then the willingness to accept that critique as it comes from a very male voice, a very black male voice, which is very different, extremely different from when it comes from black women. It's nuanced, it's different. It's not a negative or a positive, it's just different. And it is a struggle that happens in general. And it's not just black children who struggle with it, it is everyone in its entirety. My partner is the VP of broadcast and production at SoFi Stadium. His director, my other partner, is underneath him. The CTO is also a brother. In this space, collectively, between the three of them, they are a genius group of men with a wealth of experience. Meanwhile, the people that they hired and put into place struggle to follow the simple directives given to them as if it's not coming from a space of extreme experience. And there's certain things that when they had a white intermediary before they got the black CTO, that they would run to him for and things like that, because these are non-black people, not used to and unwilling to accept directives, information, and critique from black men. because they've bought into the collective stereotypes about black men. And who also are victims of those collective stereotypes of black men? Black people. So the number of times when the 13 years I spent in the classroom, I heard, "You're not my daddy." And I was like, how does that even apply to the situation here?
Yeah.
You know, how did it? So I would never directly I'm just like, father or no fatherhood, this is what you have to do.
That's a response to black male structure.
Exactly.
Right.
You associate rules, regulation, and structure negatively with your father, and the gag is, if he was around, those rules, those regulations, and that structure would help you way more than the quote-unquote freedom you think you have, which leads to a life full of incarceration or lack of freedom, whether it be mentally, financially, or, like I said before, physically if they lock you up. I think that we're going to have to change what we define as success.
Oh, yeah, speak on that.
We're not going to be right now on the main stage, big screen, but there are other avenues, streaming, social media, where we can put out our stories, our words, and our ways. And you're not going to be on the Oprah Book Club with it, right? You're not going to sell 1 million. But if you can touch 100 or 1,000 and have them go out and do their thing, that will soon become 1 million with momentum and time. We have to form our own networks. We have to do it ourselves. This way and this story is not something that's going to be told by outside forces. And this is sad to say, that includes many people that look like us. That includes many of our women who will not support us. That includes many of our men who so busy trying to simp to the sisters, they not gonna support us, okay? Because if you don't think you can get your bread, you standing on the corner begging for bread, right? And we got a lot of panhandling dudes out here, that won't stand up. And it's real cool. And it's real cool to be in control till you gotta be in control. One of the things that I've realized in my almost 50 years on this planet is that my manhood isn't respected until emergency calls for it to be needed. And then all of a sudden, I'm the man. For however long that is, that day, that hour, that 15 minutes, whatever time it is you need me, I'm very necessary, right? So if it's 1 hour, I'm Superman for 1 hour. But for them other 23 hours, they want you to just go back in that corner and be sitting down. And I'm just not for that. I don't turn it off on me all the time, and if you can't deal with that, then you can't be around me. And I just want more men to stand on it and say it. Part of the reason is us. We don't really say it, right? Whether it's love or fear. You may love her. You may love her that much, or you may be that scared of her. I ain't gonna judge. But one of the two,
or scared of the consequences.
One of the two is leading you to dishonesty. So if it's love, do you love her enough to be honest? Or do you love yourself enough to be honest with yourself?
That part.
Perhaps you would tell her the truth if you stop lying to yourself. I'm just saying. That's another episode. Y'all go back and watch that one.
Yeah, that kind of hit hard right there. What you got on that, Ren?
I kind of want to jump back to the cats that are, you have the group of cats that are falling short, and then you have the other group of cats that have succeeded and are on that bootstrap shit. You know what I mean? So instead of lending a hand and saying, well, I did it. Yeah, man, but not everybody has the same agency as you. I saw a video with the clip of Kevin Hart and Jay-Z, and they were talking about like, man, you just want to come to family gatherings, and people are proposing to him about, man, I need this much money to do this, and Jay-Z threw out $4,800. It could have been a random number. It could have been something that a relative asked him for. I mean, it's terrible to operate at a forum like Thanksgiving and ask someone for money. So that's cool. But $4,800 in the grand scheme of things is nothing for you, And so for him to be, what is he, a billionaire? And his willingness to invest in his family is insane. Specifically when you had a cat like Steve Harvey, when he had the Steve Harvey show, told his entire staff, if you want to start a business, I will pay for the licensing. I will pay for everything on the startup, like everything to legitimize your business, for filing the fictitious name and all these things. And this is just people that work for him. And at that point in time, he's just Steve Harvey on the beat, and with an audaciously corny show, And so you have this cat with all this. Why not have a space where, hey, Wednesdays, I'm at the office. Anybody in my family can come to me with a legit business proposal.
Right. Pitch it.
I have a business manager. He will do this. And if it's good enough, then we will sit down and we will invest in it. And invest in your dream. And this is the tangible, this is the game plan, this is how you'll pay it back, or this is how you'll pay it forward, for that matter, to the next family member. Like that, our inability to go in and assist, when we've made it, like that condescension that we bring to the table, when we've maneuvered through a set of circumstances, and it's rare that we've actually did it alone. We like to believe that we were on this lone wolf and we did it by ourselves, and you know what I mean? I mean, we almost never, ever do it alone. Very few people,
if
did
any.
it alone.
If any.
Yes. Come on.
We don't count the kindness of strangers. We don't count the one-offs. You may have your issues with, mom, dad, whoever, cousin, uncle, but along the road, there's always people that help. There's always people that assist. Nobody stands alone. If you did it all by yourself and you got there by yourself, man, you're probably a pretty lonely person. And I don't want that life. I have a great family, man. I like 51% of the people in my family. And I love 100% of them.
I ain't mad at you.
That's real.
And I'm telling you, I have so much fun when I'm with my people, because all the only requirement is for me to be myself.
Yeah.
And they just be like, oh, that's how he is. I say what I say. They just be like, that's how he is. But everybody in the room is who they are. Right? And you go into all these other spaces and you see so much just unauthentic BS. So I always crack jokes about my people and this and this and that, but I love them. And that's my village. And my only goal is to extend that village out to young men that are looking for somebody. I'll be your cool ass uncle to talk crazy, but still tell you the right way to do things, and if I gotta give it to you funny, if I gotta give it to you serious, hell, if I gotta rap it, whatever to get through to you, I just want to have an impact. We all have those speeches that we go back to in our minds that we ignored when they were given to us in the moment. But it's downloaded and it's there.
It's embedded.
I just want to be able to download, into someone. Hell, I'm doing that with my son. He don't listen to shit I say, but I know one day he gonna look back. Like I told you the other day, I told him, I said, you ain't got no common sense. I said, you think safe sex is you jack off with a condom on. And he just looked at me, and I was like, you get it later.
Well, see, I love the reflection, and Rennie, you said something about when you were breaking down the Jay-Z piece about you gave a solution, right? You gave an option. And, I love that we can have these conversations here and not just leave people wondering or thinking, but, have something to build upon. And with that said, as we think about solutions and how policies influence our communities, influence our families, influence our outcomes. So what role does politics play in our lives, right? So Black politics, the impact on Black men, on the Black community, what's missing, what can we build upon, what should we do less of and toss away? What type of ideas and solutions as we think about, it's got a presidential election coming up. There's elections every year. We got mayors, we got senators, state senators, assembly people here in California. As we think about Black men and sometimes how we get shit on in politics for not going with status quo, let's throw out, and we've never talked about politics on the show, so
hell no.
Let's throw out. I want your thoughts.
For a reason.
I want your thoughts about how we could at least get the ball rolling and thinking about.
Better off talking about gangbang.
We've done that too.
Well, the biggest thing is we keep trying to reflect back on this shit from the 60s and the 50s.
Right.
And that was a collective goal that everybody can agree on. Humanism. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Access to things. Basic. It was a very base level demands.
Yeah.
Very base level. So there was no discrepancies on what the goal was. Not huge. There were, you had different political factions and things like that, and they moved differently, and the means by which they wanted to achieve it was very different in certain spaces. But the collective goal manifested into all those civil rights acts, which eventually benefited everyone but us, right? So nowadays, we can't come to a common ground on the collectives that we need, and getting them to marry within have a marriage within the current political system. And I'm of the mindset that as long as we're paying taxes, right? Because this is a republic, and we are getting taxed, and not just the brass tax, but the mental and physical taxes this country puts on it. We have to involve ourselves in this system. We have to. Or we need to collectively abstain and then force them to come to us. We have to do one or the other. Either we're going to come in and do it, or we're going to abstain from it, take suffer the blows from one cycle, and then force them to come to us. But when they do, we still have to come with a platform for it. So what are the things that we need? Which are, and people, we collect these things like they're mutually exclusive, and they're not. Like, hey man, we need education. We don't need education as a form of reparations from what you've done. That's something completely different. We need investment in our community, and not as a form of reparations, but as a form of what you have not invested through your political structure by which you are using systemically to deprive us of. And we need to come together collectively. But when we got mouthpieces like the Tim Scotts and the Larry Elders of the world pushing one thing, and then you have pie in the sky, let's buy in and align ourselves with these people like Hakeem Jeffries. No knock on him. You know what I mean?
Sorry, you can knock him.
You know what I'm saying? We
don't know him.
We exist at these polar extremes, and then we got the niggas who got shit, who act like white boys. And you're working in this collectively, not for your benefit. You're working in this collective for the people who don't have access to it. Like most of the stuff that we believe in from a political platform wise that would benefit us would do nothing for us three. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It would do nothing for us. I mean, education, okay. I mean, if you had to pay for your, you got to pay for your children's education, you got the means to do it. It would help. Yeah. But you know what I mean? You can still get it done. So most of the stuff that you're speaking of wouldn't benefit, but we know that there is a collective of people like us that we have to contribute and we have to rally for. It has to be us to do it. And we have to come to a common ground into the means by which we were going to do it, and that is a struggle.
Couple things. I done seen the biggest fights break out over elections. My family, friend groups, chats, right? No, not our chats, but in other groups I've been in where somebody is gonna cuss somebody out over Joe Biden over the next 2 weeks, right? But could not give you one name of a person on the city council. So I say the most effective thing we can do immediately is local. I don't have a national program for youth. I work with 38 kids, right? I don't work with 38,000. I don't work with 380,000, but I do my part with 38. If we all took a local track, that would do more for the collective faster than trying to build something nationally, because I just haven't seen that kind of unity out of us, and I don't have that kind of time. Right? But I do know I can get some like-minded folks together and do something in my silo and then grow it from there to show a model that somebody else could take and build off of and do it better. Maybe they can get a better collective, a brighter collective, right? Because I'm old school, I'm analog and this world is digital, right? But my analog shit still work, right? And when you combine it, it's effective, right? My grandmother said once, a new broom is nice, but an old broom knows where all the dust is at. So don't get rid of old school, incorporate old school, and add your twist to it, right? The second thing is we have to get off the attitude of I'm good. So if something benefits me, then it's good for us. Possibly, let's do it this way. 5 of y'all committing a crime and you got away. I'm good. 4 niggas going to jail. You know, you just the one that got away, right? And they still after you.
Right.
You good for now. And what I see so many times is that I'm good person, when they run into trouble, here they come back. And now you've lost all credibility with your people, right? Lastly, we have to get pragmatic about what we're doing. To what you said, set goals. This is what we're after. Take a lot of this emotion out of it. This is not church on Sunday, all right? These folks are not emotional about how they planning their attack, how strategic they are. They have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30-year plans. They have plans for their grandchildren, right? They have generational plans. You can't get a Sunday dinner menu together in your family. You need to get it together. 80%, not 100. What can we agree on? And let's move on that, right? Let's all the stuff to put that to the side, right? These things right here, these 5 things, we agree, right? Let's get it.
Yes.
Let's come together.
Right.
Let's get it. Let's do it local, right? And then shine the light on it so like minds in other areas go, oh man, they doing that over there? And let me, boom, we contact, how did y'all put that together? Boom, 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 and you grow a network, right? You grow a network. I'm just saying you can have a cell, sleeper cells for other things. That's all I'm saying, right? Why can't we have it for black male success? Why can't we have it for black professionals? Why can't we have it, and have it grow organically and attract like minds? Because we don't waver, right? Why can't we do that? I don't see a reason why we can't. But instead, we're gonna have some more twerking videos for the Democratic Party. We're gonna have,
the shuffling cats of the Lee Elders and the Tim Scotts of the world.
Strippers to the poles.
And
we're gonna have all that crap.
Yeah.
Right? And I make fun of everybody, so I don't care.
Yeah.
If you listen to me long enough, I'm gonna piss you off too. But it's all a game. Right? We have no allies.
Nobody coming to save us.
Nobody's coming. You better figure it out. Right?
Well, here's what I'm gonna throw on the table. So you guys touched on it, but I'll just say it. We need a black agenda. Right? What are the top things that will benefit the collective that we could all get behind? And with that, we have to be able to adopt this thinking of no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interest. So that black agenda is our permanent interest. So I don't care who does it. I don't care who supports it. I don't care who's gonna throw money behind it. As long as it benefits us and we agree this is the path that we're gonna take and these are the things that we're gonna do, then let's do it, right? And I got some other thoughts about felons and black men and how we reverse that so more of us could vote and get in the mix. But definitely based on interest base, right? And I think politics probably will need to evolve to be interest based, whether that means folks will rock with the reparations cat. Oh, it's a reparations cat out there. It's a universal health care cat out there. It's a universal housing cat out there. It's whatever. Cat, we need to say this is what we're standing on. This is what we're gonna support, and whoever supports it, I don't give a damn what their color is on their lapel. If you support it,
come with it.
I'm down with it. So,
and it's the prioritization. It's the prioritization.
Yeah.
So just because Rob is saying, hey man, we need to push this universal health care, and cats are like, yeah man, but we need reparations. Yeah man, we do. However, this is our get right now. It doesn't mean we're not, you know what I mean? We're not. At one point, man, I would like to have a steak dinner, but I'm gonna buy this Campbell's soup today because this is how much money I got in my pocket.
Or let's say these are our two things.
Yeah.
we want both, but both of them.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a way to get, there's a means to get to those spaces, and then get the people who have an understanding of the systems.
Yeah.
And allow the people who have an understanding of the systems to explain them and then create the pathways to execute the plan. Because there's plenty of people who have understandings of the system, the tax structure and things like that. And that are not, it's not sexy, it's not a soundbite, you know what I mean? There's no cliff notes for the tax code that allows commercial properties and to be taxed at capped in our areas, where thereby which the investment in our schools, we don't get the same as in other neighborhoods. That's a very important part of the investment into the infrastructure in our neighborhood. It's extremely important, and it's so low on the priority list, if it's on the priority list at all. Like, we are being purposely underfunded. Do you understand that? I get it, bro. I'm a descendant of a slave too, but let's not just start right here. Let's get this. Let's start with this tangible investment while we're still beating this drum right here. It doesn't have to stop. We need to be able to work, put all these irons in the fire and get them going and come to a consensus on those needs. Come to a consensus and have to have an understanding. If we're not going to utilize the system, then we need to go and create our own system separately from it. And you know what that means? That means we have to be prepared for what isolation means.
Change your definition of success.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
1,000%.
Yes.
In that isolation, you know, it makes them very easy to move on us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are now in one space in the dark.
In one spot.
Yep.
Right?
So, hey, man, that's cool. I'm down for the revolution. You know what I'm saying?
But take what comes with it, right?
But
Yeah.
It was easy to burn down Tulsa.
Yeah.
And I know we're about to wrap up.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this. We don't have all the answers. We don't have some of the answers. What we do have is conversation on all different types of levels. And even some of the concepts, I'll share this with whoever's listening or will listen. Even some of the concepts to get introduced, I don't know.
Right.
When we talked of, go back to episode 1 and 2 of this season, we talked about shadow work. I had no idea what shadow work was until we start talking about it. The concept, yes. The naming and everything, no. So I'm learning as I'm going. I thought shadow work was when you had sex by the window and the moonlight come in. That's that shadow
I
work.
was giving that shadow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm just saying.
My goodness.
Also, reparations was because we had a neighborhood mechanic, Mr. Banks, and you could get your brakes done on the front lawn while his wife, Mrs. Banks, sold us candy. So your car was getting reparations over at Mr. Banks' house.
Okay. On that note, I didn't see that coming either. So just to wrap up, as we think about solutions, identify your tribe, your crew, your village. That accountability is important. Build community through economic things that we can do. If you made it, if you the good cat, yo, figure out how to help fund, even on some small levels, whatever you could do. Impart some knowledge. It don't have to be money.
Information.
Impart information that cats can readily implement to get their shit going. The other thing is we didn't dig into, but we talked about, for young folk, rites of passage. Our young men need solid information, guidance, structure that may come through a rites of passage program, and I think the mentoring that we do probably could even be deepened. The depth and breadth of it could have a deeper impact if we had solid rites of passage stuff. And people got ideas and information. There are folks doing stuff in their pockets. How do we get each other together? This works here, this works there. Let's put it together and let's expand that shit. Whether it be D9, whether it be faith-based, whether it be school-based, whatever. Let's figure that out. Let's know that those options are on the table. And the last thing is about the Black agenda. Like, let's figure out how that works and how we could get 2 to 3 top things on the board where, listen, even if 2 of my things ain't that top 3, I'm still gonna get behind it because the collective is gonna benefit, right? And we have to think the collective Black folk first. So big shout out to the crew. Big shout out to Dio behind the doors. Big shout out to the Gathering Spot LA where we are. Big shout out to Tally and Twine. Love the timepieces. James Carter-Sean, Bridge Builders, you brought them up earlier.
Jared Early.
And Bridge Builders Foundation with his uncle. You know, they damn near did $250,000 in scholarship for young Black men, you know, a few months ago.
Wow.
And they do that
Beautiful.
every year.
That's beautiful.
They got STEM programs, mentoring, you know, all kind of stuff that these Black men are doing for Black boys, which is dope. And, you know, so shout out to the D9 mentoring groups that are doing what they're doing. So big ups to you guys. I thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. If there's something that touch you, touch back in the comments and, you know, we'll address it. So with that being said, one word, cats, One word to take us out.
No, I don't have no one word. My first political act is I'm a ban size 5 fuzzy bright slippers with on size 7 feet.
I dig that with the toes be hanging off the front.
Ban. Holding on.
Yeah.
LTD toes.
What you got, Ren?
Hey.
What you got, Ren?
Hey, man, just because these is expectations, Playboy. You know what I mean? Don't get sensitive. You know what I mean? When I'm sweating you, it's because I have expectations for you.
I love it.
Stop being a little itch.
I love it. Hey, man, well, SBL, Skinny Blacks Lounge, out. Peace.
They